want to go through some of the top questions that people asked me about starting an Amazon online business. My name is Jay. I've been selling on Amazon for 5 years now, 4 years full time. I started off with about $90,000 in student loan debt back in 2020 after graduating with my master's in business health administration. And now I sell products online on Amazon, Walmart, TikTok, full time now, just selling products. I started off with Amazon. My Amazon business makes around $100K a month right now at about 35% profit margin. Top questions that people ask before they start the Amazon online business. And the reason why I want to answer these questions is because I know I had similar concerns before I started. And if I had gotten these addressed a lot sooner, I probably would have gotten started on Amazon sooner and been way further than where I am now. So I really want to address the people who are looking to get started, answer your main concerns, and just walk you through your fears, essentially. All right, so let's do it. Question number one is, how much money do I need to start, right? So for Amazon, when you start off on Amazon, you really can start with less than $1,000, right? And the reason being is because there's so many different ways to sell on Amazon. You don't need to go for the highest capital requiring business model. There's private label, there's wholesale, and then there's ultimately arbitrage, right? Arbitrage, and that's why I suggested, you can start off with less than $1,000 because that business model exists, and that business model is just the low-hanging fruit of this, reselling name-branded products for a higher price. So it's very efficient if you don't have that much capital and you have time to leverage to go into stores, observe sales, find deals, do bundles. You can get very creative with it, even though the market and Amazon is kind of pushing sellers away from the arbitrage business model with gating and brands becoming a little more strict with resellers. But it's still a viable business model. I still suggest it, I still teach it, and I still see the use in it. I mean, people run it up online arbitrage, hundreds of thousands a month just doing arbitrage alone. So that's why I say you can start your Amazon empire with just less than $1,000, get your foot in the door, understand the business model, get started, and just put effort into it like anything else. A little bit of elbow grease is going to take you a long way, especially when it's your own business, right? Your own merit turning into your own profits. So how do I find profitable products to sell? So that's one of the top questions I always get. How do I find profitable products to sell? I would say you find profitable products to sell on Amazon realistically by using the software, right? The software is what ultimately guides this entire business model. People could be doing a whole bunch of other things, brick and mortar, or just doing their own passion products. But we get into Amazon. Why? Because Amazon has the data. It shares those consumer data to show how much people are buying per month, right? How much the competitors are making, how many times people are searching up a certain keyword, right? That's how you determine what products you should sell. So to find profitable products, you need to leverage the software. If you're using a certain business model on Amazon, let's say if you're doing arbitrage or reselling, right? Seller Amp would be enough to see how often this product is being sold, the competition level of the sellers also selling this product as well too, because with arbitrage, there's multiple sellers selling one product. That's how Amazon works. And if you're doing private label, you should be using Helium 10, right? Which is going to allow you to see how many times people are searching up a certain keyword per month, or see how many times a product is being bought per month, right? What are your top competitors making per month, right? Those metrics, what ultimately discerns what product is worth your time and which product you need to launch. So that's how you find profitable products. You need to lean into the data, lean into the software, because that's what mitigates your risks ultimately, right? That's what got me into Amazon. I didn't just want to launch a passion product. I launched something that made sense from the data, right? So use that. You do not need an LLC or a business license to start. All you need is your driver's license and a credit or debit card so that Amazon can charge your account and you can make the payment, right? How do I source products? Should I use Alibaba, wholesale, or retail arbitrage? So for you to source products ultimately depends on what business model you want to start off with, right? And I tell people what business model you want to start off with is dependent on if you have more capital or if you have more time, right? So if you have more capital, then it makes more sense for you to leverage that capital to get you into higher profits a lot faster by using a private label business model or wholesale business model, right? If you don't have the means, if you have less than $1,000, then you should start off with arbitrage, which means that you should source your products using Seller Amp and going into stores or looking at online retail stores and finding good deals, leveraging that software. software, right? But if you're doing wholesale and private label and you have that capital, then you're going to be sourcing your products from Alibaba, or you're dealing with brands directly, distributors directly. Get in contact with these people who are positions of authority for brands so they can give you access to their catalogs so you can resell them, right? It's really dependent on what business model you initially going for, and that's fine if you are starting off with arbitrage, if you're starting off with private label. They can all work. I think that's what's most important, is understanding what you have more of, or the capital or time, and also your preference, right? What do you see yourself doing more consistently? Which business model are you more attracted to? Because that ultimately, that consistency is what's going to make it work for you, right? How do I set up my Amazon seller account? So you should set up your Amazon seller account real easy. Sell.amazon.com. Shouldn't take you 15 minutes to really go through everything and answer all the basic questions, demographic information, and then they do it. Only take less than 7 days, honestly, to get you verified through a video call or address, email, letter sent. And then once that's done, you should have your account active, ready to go. And yeah, so you can get your account started as you have your first few products ready to start purchasing. How long does it take to start making money? Ooh, that's a good question, right? Everybody wants to start making money ASAP. So realistically, I know I keep saying, depends on the business model, but I'm going to tailor it to each business model, right? So if you're doing arbitrage, you can definitely get started with, you can start seeing sales within your first 2 weeks with arbitrage, because with arbitrage, you're not creating a product, you're not formulating something new, you're just finding an opportunity, finding a deal, finding a product where the price is being sold at a higher point than where you're buying it from, right? Which can include a lot of different products. That's a lot of different opportunities in the world where there's local deals, mall deals, online deals. Being able to buy products in bulk will give you that price difference where you can see profit. That's what makes online arbitrage so appealing, right? Because we can just buy products very quickly and seize that opportunity and profit off that opportunity. But all you need is to have that knowledge and understand how to list products on Amazon. And once you can do that, now you equip yourself with the tools necessary to make more money online and seize these opportunities that you see in front of you. That could be locally, like I said, in your local grocery store, or just knowing about a certain niche well enough to know which distributor is going to get you your product for a lot cheaper is going to be enough to leverage to give yourself profit, right? So that's why I like arbitrage and wholesale and these other business models, because you can definitely leverage your network and your net worth to making money happen a lot faster. So arbitrage, I would say 2 weeks. Private label, you can start making money within 2 to 3 months, depending on how long it takes to ship your product. Once you get your product made and you make sure it's verified and it makes sense using the software, of course, I would say the delay in private label is just the shipping time from China or wherever your manufacturer will be, most likely China, and then to Amazon is why it's not going to happen as fast for you to get some money, but it's going to be a lot more sustainable because you're going to probably buy a lot of units in bulk, and also you're going to be able to replenish and continue selling that same product that you launched. So like I said, each business model has pros and cons. That's why you want to equip yourself with honestly all three so you can maximize your opportunity to making sales.